Okay, so the same rules apply here, y'all. Too much water will extinguish the fire, put the fire out. Too much fire will make the water evaporate. Just enough of this mixture will cause a hot tub or jacuzzi effect. Oh yeah, baby. However, you can't stay in the jacuzzi too long. Begin with Leo and Cancer. So under the sun, Cancer resides in the 12th house of Leo, despite what your natal charts are, right? First of all, your Cancer significant other may appear shy, or they may appear as a recluse. They rather be over here while everybody is over there. And they only come out to do particular things and then they go right back. Okay. Now, you being the showboat, the superstar that you are, right? And you might have a different natal chart that says other, or a different ascendant that says other. I'm just saying, in the natural scheme of things, Leo, you are a showboat. You are the person of the place at the time of the hour that everybody has their eyes on, right? And just because you are that type of individual and you are with this Cancer person, it does not mean that they are the same type of individual. You won't do well trying to force yourself on this Cancer to be more like you. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. And when you understand this, you will begin to gel well and gel better with your Cancer significant other. So if your Cancer is moving on the accord that I expressed earlier by stating, look, I come out and I know how to be around people. I know how to be peoply and stuff like that. But I come out for these particular reasons, and more than likely it's going to be for money purposes. Then that's a green light for you. That is not something to be concerned about, because that lets you know that this Cancer person is selective when it comes to the people that they choose to deal with, and they have principles which basically reveals what it is that they are sentimental or place value on. Okay, they place more value on privacy in your life because Cancer falls inside of the 12th house. See how this goes? You'll get the hang of this. So when this happens, they also will want to spend time with you alone and isolation and things of that nature. But more than that, you would want to spend time alone with your Cancer significant other. All right. And you may find yourself treating your significant other like a baby. And this is male, female. And I know from the outside looking in, some people can turn this into like this name calling thing about alpha, beta, and masculine and feminine and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, listen, this is the way that the signs fall under the sun for the two of you. All right. So the same way that Leo can be the shoulder to lean on and, and passionate and caring about the person that they're with, this Cancer that you're with, the same way that the Cancer going to be with you. So you may see this as not as a form of weakness at all, or something that is supposed to be reciprocated, because they become your refuge when you're trying to get away from the glow and the glitz and the glamour and all of that. They are those arms that you can fall inside of their bosoms. But yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because Cancer rules the breasts and Leo rules the back in the heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, this is a true correlation, especially when it comes to children here as well. Now, this does not mean that you should necessarily have a football team because both of these two signs are significant in that area. Either it might just mean that you'll have more fun with maybe a couple or a few kids. You understand what I'm saying? Because in the 12th house, less is more type thing. You understand what I'm saying? Or should I put it more like this and take the children out of the equation and say this? When you see that your Cancer significant other is holding on to things, whether they be grudges, whether they be arguments, whether they be things that you notice are out of their control, that's a red flag, Leo. You might want to get out of there. Or, you might want to express yourself in a way that says, hey, that's probably not the best way to go about things, because please use an example, because if you try to just force it on them and say, you should, then this becomes a form of trying to coerce the Cancer into believing that they should do things, again, your way. And they're going to see the ego inside of that. Their intuition is going to kick up, and that's just going to be a nasty sparring match right there. Right. But if you can use an example, I don't care if you use film to do it. Use a movie that says, remember in this movie, so-and-so did this, that, and the third, X, Y, and Z. And yeah, you should try thinking about that at least. You're holding on too tight to things that you can't control. Your Cancer significant other, once they come to terms with this, when they learn to surrender to your lead, the relationship goes better. So again, I know from the outside looking in, they might sound like they're, forfeiting their individuality or something along that lines, but it's really not. It's a 12th house placement. So when the Cancer surrenders, because when you learn about the 12th house, right, it's like this. The more you try to hold on and be egotistical and materialistic and hold on and this, that, and the third, the worse things become for you. So when this Cancer learns to surrender not only to those types of things, but to you as well, the relationship becomes tranquil. It becomes peaceful. It becomes harmonious. You understand? Now, if it doesn't go that way, again, this is a red flag. I would suggest to get out of there. Now, there can be some drug usage, perhaps as well. I should say the utilization of chemicals, right? So if that's a factor here, just know that it's possible, because I said it, like, it's there. You know what I'm saying? The potential for it to be there is there. There may even be a feeling of being trapped with your Cancer significant other. And if this is the case, pinpoint this. I wouldn't say that that's a red flag, though. And it may not be something that you should take personal. They may just feel trapped in the whole scheme of things, because 12th house also rules over prisons and hospitals and stuff like that. So if they come across as reluctant to express to you something that you can pinpoint is going on, like if you get a hunch here, Leo, because you're going to have hunches here when it comes to this Cancer individual that you're with. And if you think something is going on or something is being withheld from you, or they're being sneaky about something, they might be reluctant to tell you, because you also take time to warm up in that area of expressing confidential information. But when you do reach that level with your Cancer, you should expect the same thing to be reciprocated back to you. And they may be being a recluse in that situation because they may feel inadequate in nurturing you in some type of way, or they may not feel nurtured adequately enough in those confines that they are with you. All right. So this is just something that can be brought to terms with if it's expressed. And Leo, do not fly off the handle and, use some dignity when you're trying to get to the root of this, because again, the Cancer can go into their shell and just say, you know what, it's better not to be dealt with. And again, if they're using that type of attitude, as much as it's going to pain them, they know that they fare better and they win more in that type of limelight because they're surrendering. You understand what I'm saying? So it's best for them not to contradict themselves and go to war with you about this. It's better for them to let you express yourself in a way that's not so adamant, over demanding, or commanding that they should come out, right? And again, you will have a hunch here dealing with this Cancer, so you should use that hunch to, I know they say, no, I can't read your mind. Well, try it, because you'll be surprised. All right. The time that you spend together here, your Cancer significant other is going to have attached sentimental value to that, because this is also a house of placement of isolation. So a lot of romantic and cuddling and bed pleasures and stuff can go on here. This is a red flag, though. If the outsiders are interfering with your secrecy, your private affairs, your confidence, things that you confide in each other about, that's a red flag. If you see that is done a lot of times by your Cancer significant other, it may irritate you the more that you see this done. This is something to pull their coattails about. And this is vice versa. But I think you, Leo, are more along the lines of enjoying your refuge time with your Cancer than it is that they do, because they will feel trapped in some type of way in the relationship regardless, because that's where they are for you. You know what I mean? Take note to that too, and realize that they do have to get away in some type of way. And hopefully this is in a good way, because if you notice them doing habits or behaviors that are detrimental to their health, this is a red flag. Get out of there. Support them, or try to support them first. But if it's to no avail, get out of there. It can get worse faster than it can get better, I'd say. It'll take a long time, and then it just won't work. So keep that in mind too if you see some self-undoing going on there. This Cancer individual may be very charitable, and this might irritate you if it comes to the bank, Leo. However, if it comes in the form of spirituality or just helping people with compassion and the kindness of their heart and stuff like this, you'll probably love this, and you should love this. And I'm just keeping it official. And because they will enjoy doing it, and it's not a weakness about them. This is actually a strength for them. What else? They may actually want to nudge you about gaining second residency in another place in a foreign land somewhere. They may also be putting you on to game of different cultures, different foods. You know, they might dance bachata 1 minute and the next thing you know, they speak Russian, a little Russian, and that's fine. Those are all green lights with the significant other. That's a Cancer for you, Leo. What other things are... Now, you may see them start a lot of things, especially entrepreneurial things, right? This might irritate you if you see them stagnant. They become stagnant and not follow through. However, that's not a red flag. They may pull your coattails and say, well, that's what you're here for, right? They may rely on you for that. And I don't mean in a way that, you know, like most people say, Cancer's a clingy and stuff like that. Don't take it that way. And if they feel that it's that way, they will show you that they can go off on their own and do whatever it is that they expect from you, especially with them being in your 12th house, because it's a house of isolation. So they know how to isolate and be on their own and get it on their own. Trust me. But they will they will reveal like, okay, well, that's what I thought you were there for. And when you think about it, Leo, when you put your ego to the side and you stop being stubborn and fixed in the mindset of yours and trying to project that onto this Cancer significant other, you'll find out that you are the follow through sign. You're a succeeding sign. The Cancer is the cardinal sign. So the cardinal sign is going to naturally initiate things. The succeeding sign is supposed to be the person who follows through. So your Cancer significant other may pick up on a disloyal type of thing going on here if you're not the one to push through and, you know, push that thing to whatever they started to go through, even if you got to be hands-on doing it, which 9 times out of 10 is going to be much more productive for your relationship, and it will make the Cancer's heart beam, Leo.